What is up, guys? We are sitting here Friday, 2 weeks out from the Tampa Pro, and training back today. Today we got back and biceps. It's not a pull session, no hamstrings. So gonna be doing 4 back movements, a rear delt movement, and then 2 bicep movements, and kind of talk about each one as we go through and do them. You know, you've been keeping up with the training at all up until this point. You've heard me talk about it several times, but when you're watching the training today, keep in mind that, you know, the goal is to, in the words of Lee Haney right now, stimulate, not annihilate. You know, in an off-season setting, we're absolutely full sending all the working sets to the moon, forcing reps, using intensifiers, whole 9 yards. We were doing that at the start of prep, and as prep has worn on and the recovery has gone down because of the food getting lower and lower and the body fat getting lower and lower, we've pulled that back and back and back to where at this point I'm just doing straight sets. My load hasn't taken that big of a hit. My strength stayed pretty good, but what we are doing is leaving those absolute grinder reps on the table. So you'll notice that today, if the rep's really slow moving, but I make it happen by myself, I'll shut it down. If it was a good rep by myself, I'll take another one, and if Jordan has to help a little, okay. What I'm not gonna do is, you know, barely get one and then launch another one and have him have to like row it with me. So keep that in mind when we're training today. Right now we're on day 2 of a little bit higher food and slightly reduced cardio. You know, aimed mainly at the purpose of dropping a little fatigue off and, you know, priming the body and the metabolism to really have another run. It's worked pretty well. You know, the last 5 or 6 weeks, it's kind of one of those things will stick me in the box, like Sunday through Thursday, Sunday through Friday morning, and then, you know, eat Friday, Saturday. Get a look at what's going on, and then, you know, just back in the box and grind it out. Been doing, you know, when I say in the box, it's, you know, carbs first 3 meals, 150 grams of rice a pop, and then hour in the morning and then 30 minutes at night on the stairs. So definitely in the box, but, you know, everything's working, everything's coming off, and I'm really, really super excited about how we're looking. So coming together. unilateral shit right now to save energy, but Nautilus lat pull down's too good. So I'm gonna do 3 working sets, unilateral Nautilus pull down, very much so, like I said, for a lower lat focused pull down. And then from there, move on to the Body Masters T-bar.
Yes, sir.
Regardless of whether you train by yourself or with a training partner, you will be much better off allowing yourself a minute and a half to 2 minutes of time in between sides to recover. So if you're training with someone, there's enough time to switch the weight, let them do their set. You know, if you're training by yourself, really, take a second, control your breathing, recover. If you're always doing it the other side right after the first side, your oxygen deficit isn't replaced. Your CNS is, all elevated and excited. Not that it won't be during the training session, but you're doing the other side a disservice. So make sure you're allowing a little bit of time to recover in between your unilateral exercises. So 3 working sets of the unilateral Nautilus pull down. Moving from there to a T-bar row. We're going to be doing ours on the Body Masters with an upper back focus, meaning handles that are here, letting the elbows flare, not aiming to keep them tucked, and on the lower handles as we would for a lower lat focus row. Biggest thing that we're trying to accomplish here, and I see a lot of people trying to do this, but they just do it really wrong, so keep it in mind, is at the bottom of the movement, we want to be letting it pull us in half, but we don't want to be letting it round our spine. So you want your spine absolutely rigid the whole time, and your scapula and your shoulder girdle traveling around it. So at the bottom, you don't want to be letting it pull you over and round your spine. You want to have a flat back and a full protraction, and then get into that full retraction. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here, we're set. My back is flat. That's full protraction. That's letting my spine round like a piece of shit. So, nice flat back, full protraction, full retraction. Flat back, full protraction, full retraction. Flat back, shoulders and scap traveling around, nice rigid spine, full retraction. That's what we're going after.
I forgot 2 plates is actually a little heavy on here on the warm-up.
Try talking while you're doing it.
I was thinking that's what it reminds me.
3.5 for sure. that's it for rear delts, one and done. It's one triple drop. So that is all of the back work and the rear delt work for today. All we have left is 2 bicep movements, and if you've been keeping up with me for any length of time, you already know what they are. It's going to be a preacher curl and a step forward cable curl. So let's knock those out and get the hell out of here. Y preachers and then step forwards. So if you look at this, we're getting peak resistance whenever this makes a 90-degree angle. So roundabouts right there at peak contraction pretty much. So peak resistance when the muscle's shortest, which is also where, for the most part, muscles are weakest. There's exceptions to those rules, but a muscle is typically weakest when it's shortest. So we start with an exercise that overloads the shortened position, whether it be a dumbbell preacher or the strive preacher loaded in such a way. And then we move on to a step forward cable, which really loads the starting position, because that 90-degree angle that I was talking about is basically in the whole of the exercise. So it's heaviest when the muscle's longest and strongest. That's why we go from preacher to step forward. So biggest thing that you want to keep in mind doing the step forward cable curls is, you know, the portion of the range of motion that you're trying to stress and the position you're trying to put the muscle in, and that is with it long. So you want to keep in mind, you know, you step forward and then you keep your upper arm frozen back here. And as you curl, pretend you're almost doing a drag curl. We don't want to come way up here and get our upper arm up here. We want to have from here to here as frozen as possible. And granted, there will be some, forward motion to it, but we want to avoid coming like that. We want to stay with it stretched and in the lengthened position, really drag the hands up and really get that good resistance at the bottom. Today's Friday. Next Friday, it'll be this back and biceps session again. And then that following Monday, we leave for Tampa. So we leave in 9 days, single digits. So that is a wrap on what is my second to last back and biceps session at my home gym. It's always really weird starting to get as close to the show as we are, thinking about it in terms of, we leave in 9 days. I'm 14 days out, so it's really weird to have gotten to the point where it's easier to think about in days than it is weeks. 2 weeks sounds a lot longer than 14 days to me, so we are 14 days out, and it's fucking cool to say that out loud. It's just really cool to see everything kind of coming to a head. There's been a lot of work done behind the scenes, and a lot of corrections made, and a lot of doing things differently to get to where we're at right now. And I'm really looking forward to bringing it home the next 14 days. So, mindset couldn't be better, body couldn't feel better. I got a great support system around me. Ben and I are firing on all cylinders. Jordan's in here making sure I get after it every single day. So, I'm surrounded by people that care about me and surrounded by people that I don't want to let down. So, it's a very powerful motivator for me. So, looking forward to making my people proud soon. Looking forward to making myself proud soon. That was, what I said at the beginning of this year, the beginning of this prep. What it was all about. It was about making myself proud and having fun with it. And I've been doing both those things, and it shows. So 2 more weeks of it. I'm looking forward to showing y'all something special.